Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to the 150th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. T-shirts. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bobo Bass.
I like it. And look who else we got here if you're on the YouTube right now.
We got Chad, the champion Mclain.
Chad, the champion himself.
I don't really think I call myself a champion, but
we call you a champion.
Yeah, we call you a champion.
The self-esteem is going up
You're
as we talk.
You're a champion to us, Chad. That's the thing.
Yeah, for sure. He's actually here today to be with us to talk about the fact that he's going to be streaming on Mixer for us. And
we've got our
also,
own ninja now.
Yeah, he's even got the hair and everything.
It's true.
He went full ninja.
Yeah, no, I dyed my hair way before this shit, but, I was just like, I might as well just dye it again. That gives me kind of like a different personality than most folks, and I won't be the same as everybody on... Well, no, actually, I will be the same as everybody on Mixer now. Thank you, Ninja.
That's okay. That's what you need to do to survive in the Mixer world,
Yeah, for sure. So we're glad to have Chad here with us. But because Chad is here with us, our audio is going to probably be worse than it's ever been before.
Yes.
Except for like the first 3 episodes where we did like a weird, just weird audio. Anyway, so...
I don't even have headphones, guys, so if
Yeah.
I start talking really loud or really quiet or just breathing like a dumbass into the microphone... Just please excuse me. I'm doing my best here, guys.
Yeah, we're doing what we can.
I just had to come along and ruin everything.
God, Chad. No. But yeah, so I'm gonna let Chad tell us. What have you been up to this week? Brent's. Usually me and Brent will just like kind of talk about what we've done this week. Anything interesting? What have you done?
I've worked a lot, but other than that, though, I've been playing the shit out of Call of Duty, and my goodness, in like the month that I've had it, I'm already up to like a 90. And
that's fun.
So like Modern Warfare?
Modern Warfare is basically what I've been playing this entirety of. Well, no, I wouldn't say, it's just Modern Warfare right now. But other than that, though, just basically work and then... and getting on to the coworker that I have because I'm his manager and I can do that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's
boss
always fun.
Status, big boss.
He's not only the champion, he's the boss.
Yeah, he's turned into a full-fledged boss since the last time he was on the show. That's excellent, Chad. I'm happy for you over there.
Absolutely. We're so happy for you to be the boss, dude. What
have you been doing, Jamel? What's life like on your end of the world over there?
So I've been watching a lot of like space documentaries,
I went through a space documentary phase for a while there. I love that shit.
Yeah, it's something about like just that weird feeling of like staring into the void and then having some like beautiful voice like Neil deGrasse Tyson
or Stephen Attenborough,
he's great.
He's great.
Either one of them.
Have you been watching Cosmos or what?
No, honestly, I've been watching like just whatever I can find. I'm starting to run out of space documentaries. The reason I brought this up is because I need more space documentaries, and there's no good ones.
I've got a good one for you.
What's a good one?
There's one on Hulu that like goes through the Apollo missions, and they talk about. I think this one that I'm thinking of is specifically about Apollo 11, like the one that goes to the moon.
I've seen that.
You saw that one?
I've seen that, dude.
Oh, it's so good.
You name a space doc, and I've seen it. Unfortunately.
I love a good space doc.
Have you seen the one on the Challenger, though?
Yes, I've seen that one too.
Right.
And see, I'm not really interested in the ships.
Event.
Yeah, I'm more interested in like whenever they talk about crazy events in space, like it's like
off in the distance.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, look at this planet number 907400, whatever, and we don't understand why it's giving off this certain, like aura or doing this and stuff. That's exciting to me because we don't know yet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All the dark matter stuff and black holes. Have you ever watched Interstellar?
I have watched Interstellar.
I know
love that movie.
it's not the most realistic movie ever, but it's so fucking good, dude. And it makes you really want to get into like space and shit. That's kind of what inspired my little like space fucking thing that I went through.
Was that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
such a good movie. Honestly, that's, in my opinion, the guy who directed that is the same dude who did The Dark Knight and stuff. I can't think of his fucking name. But I feel like that's his best movie, dude. Fucking, he did Inception, I think, too, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he did Inception. He did
What's
The Dark
that guy's
Knight.
name?
God dang it. Now that we're talking about
I
it.
could think of this on any other normal
Christopher
day.
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, I think that's Christopher Nolan's best movie, dude, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely. Every movie he's done has been great, but
he's great.
something about Interstellar just really hits home,
Yeah.
Like,
it's got everything, man.
Murph, like I can just imagine like losing my daughter
Oh, God.
because I have to go to space and then I come back and she's older than me. You know what I'm saying?
Trippy, dude.
I've already
ruined the whole
seen
movie for
my
everybody,
future.
but
Yeah, I definitely just kind of destroyed that movie.
Have you seen that one with Gerard Butler? I don't know. It's about this space station or whatever that they made that like controls the weather and crap.
No, what is this?
It's so basically these scientists like they build something to control the weather and like because apparently droughts and all this other stuff's happening on Earth, right?
Uh-huh.
So somebody decides to get that and use it for evil. So Gerard Butler has to go up into space and basically take down this evil dude and then also save the space station while doing it. Of course, but you'll have to see it though. It's really
That's
good.
dope. That
Wow.
sounds like that James Bond Moonraker or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
What?
Like, I think there's a scene in one of the James Bond movies. He goes to space and he has to stop a supervillain in space. And
Oh,
it's
okay,
almost,
okay.
It's just like that.
Of course, GoldenEye.
Was that Goldeneye?
No,
Yeah.
no, I doubt it. But wasn't the
Wasn't
movie
it
called like?
GoldenEye?
The movie's not even called GoldenEye. The movie's called like Goldfinger or something.
No, there's Goldfinger and Goldeneye. They're two different movies.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Goldfinger is a Sean Connery one, and Goldeneye is
Connery.
Pierce Brosnan.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yes.
yes.
Three no's and a
The
yes
Golden
means
Gun
yes.
in Goldeneye is actually from Goldfinger, though, which is kind of fun.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, anyways, that's basically our stuff that's been going on this week. I also want to mention that I'm still watching Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. I'm just trying to finish up this show.
Wait, so I was trying to find this the other day. It's on Netflix, right? Because I think
Correct.
I did find it.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start watching it, dude. Have you seen the trailer for that movie Horse Girl on Netflix?
I'm sorry, what the fuck are you talking
Go
about?
look
Horse
it
Girl?
up.
Is it like a
Go
Minotaur or something?
Look
Like-
it up. It looks so good, dude. Oh my god. Look up Horse Girl. Okay, it starts out and it's like all happy-go-lucky.
Is she a horse?
Oh man,
Is she a girl?
I don't know.
Yeah,
she
is she a
likes
chimera?
horses. Okay, she likes horses, and she's got some kind of weird fucking mental thing. I don't know. It looks weird. It's like a psychological thriller or something. I think. I don't know. It looks really, really weird. But look up the trailer because I can't even do it justice by explaining it. It's just that weird.
Okay, I like that.
But you got to see this.
Yeah, for sure. We will watch Horse Girl.
Oh, and don't go see The Turning, dude. This is the worst movie I've ever
I
seen.
could have told you that. Every time I see the trailer, I'm like, oh god.
My
this looks
girlfriend
so
really wanted to
stupid.
see it, and I thought it would at least be like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. But we're sitting at a solid 2 out of 10 on this movie. It's really bad.
They took one of the kids from Stranger Things and made them do an actual horror movie, and it's like,
I'm not mad about that. I just wish he would have done
A better job.
generally, I just think everything in that movie could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
It was just really bad. It didn't make any sense. It was just really bad.
Awesome. So we're going to jump into the news here, the video game news. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on these articles. And I'd say we start this off with a bang from Vic Hood at Tech Radar. He says, a new Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic game is reportedly in development at EA. According to a report by Cinelinx via Games Radar. According to the report, which cites 2 independent sources, a new Knights of the Old Republic is in the works. However, rather than being a remake, the new game is apparently more like a sequel. Cinelinx claims that this game would, quote, integrate elements from the first 2 games in order to bring certain things into the current Star Wars canon, end quote. Essentially making the game more a reboot than a remake. While we're always speculative of rumors, Cinelinx did accurately leak the existence of Disney Plus's Obi-Wan show last year, suggesting their sources are pretty legit. In addition, back in 2015, the site reported that a Knights of the Old Republic remake was in the works, before reporting a year later that the game had been put on the back burner. So these guys have some credentials, you know, so this isn't just some bullshit, you know?
Man, I just have a few stipulations, you know? First of all, if you're going to reboot the series, I'm okay with that, okay? There's just a few things that has to happen in order for it to, like, scratch the itch that I need it to scratch. First of all, it needs to be a companion-based RPG like the BioWare games, like Jade Empire, like Mass Effect, like fucking KOTOR. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the most important thing, okay? Second of all, if you're going to reboot the whole series, there are just like a handful of key parts of the story of Revan that if you change will fuck up the whole story. Like, you have to keep, like, the main structure of the story intact, and it has to be, like, the same. You know what I mean? Or else you lose dramatic impact. Like, that was one of the things that made KOTOR one of the all-time greats, was how amazing the story was. You know what I mean? And you can't alter it. Like, I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, you can't alter the story, at least not too much.
No.
Obviously, they're
like
going
side quests
to.
And stuff, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, anything that doesn't affect the main bulk of the story, you can do whatever you want.
I feel like they are going to affect the main bulk of the story.
I feel like it's too dark for Disney. Like Malik, Revan, the missing jaw, all that weird shit. Like, I just feel like it's all too dark. Yeah. But who knows?
Unfortunately, Kathleen Kennedy will get her sick, disgusting fingers all over it.
Okay, so did y'all hear what's happening with the Obi-Wan show, though?
Yeah,
I heard it got pushed back.
Yeah, it got pushed back, and she wants to make it into a movie, not an actual show.
Which I'm down with.
I'm okay with that. I mean, if the story fits a movie format better than a 8-episode stretched out thing, I'm okay with that. I just want a good piece of Star Wars content, like The Mandalorian. I want more of that. I would
really like to see a Maul series, like a Darth Maul.
Ooh, and everybody else. I think that would do exceptionally well. I think that would do better than The Mandalorian.
Well, I honestly think that the Obi-Wan series, whether it's the series or it becomes a movie, it will absolutely have Darth Maul in it. Because even in the Clone Wars, like the animated series, Darth Maul is like Obi-Wan's biggest like rival,
What's the planet Darth Maul is from? Don't you go there in Fallen Order?
Dathomir.
Right? Dathomir, yeah. Dude, they should just make a fucking show based on like the brutal culture of Dathomir. I think that would be epic. Like,
well, he was so strong with the dark side. That's what kept him alive all that time. Whenever he was split in half, he was so angry and he wanted to kill Obi-Wan so much that he just stayed so
like
angry.
Crawling around looking for his legs, like fuck Obi-Wan. I'm gonna
yeah. If you want to know what actually happens to Darth Maul, like how he actually meets his end, then watch what's it called? Rebels. Watch Star Wars Rebels. It's so good. So freaking good. Anyways, let's move on. Brent, what you got?
Okay, let's see. In an announcement from developer Ektra Games and publisher Perfect World, the online-focused Torchlight Frontiers, which brings the familiar action RPG gameplay to a shared world, has now been rebranded and is Torchlight 3. Torchlight 3 will release on Steam later this year, with console ports coming sometime after.
Yeah, and it won't be free to play anymore. It's a pay, like you buy it outright instead of like the whole MMO free to play thing.
Yeah.
So from Stephen Petit over at GameSpot officially revealed more than 3 years ago, The Last of Us Part 2 will finally arrive on PS4 May 29th. If you've been anxiously awaiting the sequel to the PS3 classic, you may want to check out The Art of The Last of Us Part 2, an art book created by Dark Horse Books and developer Naughty Dog, filled with imagery from the game and developer commentary. Superfans will want to take a peek at the deluxe edition, which just went up for pre-order at Amazon. The Art of The Last of Us Part 2 Deluxe Edition includes an alternate cover and a slipcase featuring Ellie playing the guitar. It also comes with the gorgeous lithograph, which they show on their website. But it's certainly a pricey book at $90, especially when you consider that the standard edition is available for $36. We also don't know much about the contents between the covers just yet, or whether it will be lengthier than the 200-page standard edition. Both editions of the official art book released June 16th.
Wait, so they don't know what's different about the deluxe edition?
Yeah, not yet, apparently. But
okay.
I know Taj from our other show that we do now, our PlayStation show, he just pre-ordered it. So
the deluxe edition?
Yeah. So
oh, cool. So we'll get to see.
Yeah, we'll get to talk to him about it in our other show, which will go up the same time this show went up.
I bet it's got like a metal bookcase or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Or something crazy.
Something crazy.
Like the coronavirus in a vial.
That would be fucked up.
I just wonder why they called it the coronavirus.
Okay, so I did some research on this. Coronaviruses are actually quite common. The common cold is a coronavirus.
Really?
The media is just calling it the coronavirus. It's actually like a strand of the coronavirus. You know, that's gone ape shit.
So it's just basically like the common cold, but just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like how the flu has like a bunch of different versions of the flu. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so.
Speaking of the coronavirus, I won't go through the whole article, but apparently Plague Inc. is like selling incredibly well. And like fucking, especially in China. And like they had to make a statement. They're like, "Don't go to our game to learn about viruses."
Yeah, like,
we're
we
not
don't know
like
shit.
A real place to learn from. Like,
yeah, this was a game that came out in like 2008 or something.
yeah, it's still really popular. It's like a mobile game.
Yeah,
you just infect people with viruses.
And you can get it on Steam as well, I believe.
That sounds kind of like what the Japanese did to the Chinese in like World War II. They just did a whole bunch of stuff to them while they were still alive, and that got dark really quick.
I was like, wait, what? What is happening?
That's basically like that in the game version on your phone. Not actually doing it to an actual person. No, never do that to an actual person. I'm not condoning
definitely. GameSpeak does not condone doing things to actual people.
GameSpeak does not condone bioterrorism.
So James O'Connor at GameSpot says, early this month, Rocket League players on Linux and Mac were given the news that their versions of the game would no longer be supported for online play. These players, who are said to make up less than 1% of the game's total player population, will not be able to play the game online anymore after an update in March. Thankfully,
that one guy on Mac is like, fuck!
God damn it!
I need to find something else to stream now on my Apple PC.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that play on Mac just because it's like you pay like $4 billion for your Mac, and then it can run like any game. Not run any game that's except for this. Thankfully, affected players are now being offered refunds for their purchase of the game. In a post on Reddit, a team member from developer Psyonix has outlined the process involved, and it's pretty straightforward.
Buy a PC.
No, to get your refund. It's like go to the Stream support website, select purchases, select Rocket League, select I would like a refund, then I'd like to request a refund. From the reason drop-down menu, select my issue isn't listed. In notes, write, please refund my Mac Linux version of Rocket League. Psyonix will be discontinuing support. And that's all you got to do.
Oh, man. R.I.P. to all the Mac Linux users out there. You know?
It's a huge slap in the face to anybody that's on those systems.
For sure. It really sucks.
Better get Windows 10, guys. Okay, a man has been sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for committing multiple armed robberies at GameStop locations in Southern California. As if GameStop wasn't doing bad enough.
Yeah, maybe this is why they're tanking.
Right?
How much did he take?
What if the executive guy that they just hired paid this guy? He's like, look, I'll give you $1 million. You just go around robbing every GameStop.
How much did he? How much?
So he got 10 years in federal prison. It said the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California announced the sentencing of Frederick Lopez Jr. today. Lopez is accused of stealing more than $132,000 worth of cash and merchandise during robberies that took place between August 18th and October 18th. October 2018, excuse me. So, this happened, last year, 2 years ago. I don't know why the fuck this is just now coming up in the news.
Yeah, what the heck? I did see this in the news as well, though,
Maybe
today.
He just got, his prison sentence or whatever.
Yeah, he just got sentenced for it.
They usually don't report on it until he, gets the sentencing and crap like
He's
that.
He's probably been sitting in a jail cell for a year and a half. Lopez entered the store at night, sometimes accompanied by another suspect, and blah, 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 he robbed them. So you get the point, you know. It's pretty fucked up, but, he got his. So don't go around robbing Gamestops.
No.
You know?
Because they will come after you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says, Autobots and Decepticons are not going to stop fighting anytime soon. Multiple reports confirmed today that Paramount and Hasbro are working on 2 new Transformers movies that are being produced concurrently. Yeah, one of the movies is being written by Army of the Dead writer Joby Harold, who also worked on John Wick 3. The other is being pinned by James Vanderbilt, whose credits include The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and the Adam Sandler Jennifer Aniston Netflix movie Murder Mystery, which was actually pretty good, and the David Fincher film Zodiac.
Okay, I like that movie too.
Yeah, according to the stories by The Hollywood Reporter and Variety, the new films aim to, quote, build out multiple storylines as they expand the Transformers universe, end quote. Deadline reports that Vanderbilt's movie is based on the Beast Wars spinoff that focuses on robots that transform into animal-like robots. There is no word on who may direct the new Transformers films or who might star in them. It sounds like very early days for both projects.
What if they just do it like Pokemon and just release Transformers Red and Transformers Blue, and they're the same movie with a different end?
Well, see, because one's going to be the Beast, whatever, the Transformer. What did they just call that?
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Actually, that's the best series of Transformer. If you haven't seen the animated version, it's really good.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah, no,
there you go. Good
so
to know. Did they turn into
actually,
animals instead of trucks?
Yeah, no, they turn into T-Rexes and shit like that.
Fuck
It's
yeah,
freaking
dude.
cool. But
That's what I'm talking
the
about.
The best animal. T-Rex.
Are they still the same Transformers? Is it
Oh yeah, no,
Optimus
it's
Prime?
Optimus, it's Bumblebee,
Is
and
it
all
really?
them. They just turn into different shit. It's
So
not
why do
like-
they turn into different shit?
Yeah,
Have
what
they had
happened?
this ability the whole time?
You're gonna have to watch the animated series.
Okay.
That's all I can
fair
say.
enough.
Yeah, don't want to spoil
Does it
it.
explain it in the show? They're not just it doesn't just start out and they're turning into cheetahs and shit.
No. So basically, they're on their home planet, and I guess they come to Earth, and it's very early days. Or
Oh, okay.
whatever,
So this is before all the
okay.
other stuff.
Yeah.
a prequel.
Ah, yeah.
I like that.
They just come there and beat up all the dinosaurs.
They're just blending in
They're the reason why dinosaurs went extinct.
No, dude,
Anyway.
that was
the-
Megatron, right?
That was
Or
the
no?
Decepticons, damn it.
So deceptive. All right, what do you got?
Okay, so Pokemon Go's new February Community Day is coming, but this time they're not there's not a set in stone Pokemon. They're going to give you the ability to vote between 4 Pokemon on which Pokemon you want to see on Community Day. And as you know, if you play Pokemon Go, Community Day is a big deal. These Pokemon will appear frequently if shiny, so you can get a bunch of them. Your options to vote on are Vulpix / Alolan Vulpix, Machop, Rhyhorn, and Dratini. So I feel like Machop would probably be the best. Or
Dratini, dude.
Dratini's pretty dope, because then you'd for sure have a Dragonite.
Yeah.
But then, if you look Vulpix / Alolan Vulpix, that's like a 2-for-1. You know what I mean? It might be better.
Maybe.
You
if
know?
you care about that kind of thing.
Either way.
Ninetales is one of the best Pokemon ever.
Ninetales
in my
is
book.
awesome.
Ninetales is dope, but do you want 2 forms of Ninetales?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
fire and
especially
ice.
Especially if it's going to be a community day and you're already going to get a fuckload of shinies, you know what I mean? You probably want to I don't know, have a little variety, you know? Why
Yeah,
would you
for
want
sure.
8 or 9 normal Machops when you can have 4 normal Vulpix and 4 Alolan Vulpix.
That makes sense. All right, I got you. I get it.
Either way, if you want to vote, you have to do the special field research tasks that will be coming on February the 1st. So check that out.
And remember, guys, 2020, Pokemon go to the polls. Okay. Anyways, James O'Connor at GameSpot says, in August 2019, popular streamer Tyler Blevins, a.k.a. Ninja, signed an exclusivity deal with Mixer, moving away from Twitch and fast building up a huge following on his new platform. It was clear that a lot of money must have been involved in the transaction, and now a new report is offering a ballpark figure. According to an article on CNN about streamers being offered lucrative exclusivity contracts, Ninja's deal was likely worth between $20 to $30 million. This figure comes from Justin Warden, who is the CEO of marketing and talent management company Adder, and who claims to have inside knowledge of the deal. This was for a multi-year deal and still likely represents the largest deal a streamer has gotten for exclusivity. Ninja is so popular that he has his own skin in Fortnite, the game he is most famous for streaming. Back in 2014, Amazon spent $1 billion acquiring Twitch, which Mixer, owned by Microsoft, is in direct competition with. Other streamers who have left Twitch for Mixer deals include Shroud and Ewok, a deaf teenage Fortnite streamer. Mixer is just one of the streaming platforms Twitch now competes with. YouTube and Facebook Gaming are also nabbing streamers.
Hey, all I'm saying is if you give us $20 million, we'll exclusively put our podcast on Mixer. I don't know if it works that way, but we'll figure out a way to make it work.
You give me $100.
And some Pokemon
cents.
cards.
Yeah.
No,
about $3.50.
I followed Ninja since he was in the MLG for like
Halo,
and stuff like that. Let me just tell you how far gaming has come like in that time period. So I was actually semi-pro on game battles and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
But like from that time period to now, the biggest contract ever in gaming was in 2006, in the 2007 like middle of the year, whenever they were going to the next season of MLG for Halo 2. And the team final boss, who I don't know if y'all have ever heard of, but with Walshy, Ogre 1, Ogre 2, and Saiyan, they made a deal with MLG for $1 million. Okay, and that was back in 2007. Now people are getting deals like this.
$30 million.
Man, that's wild to even think about.
Yeah, dude. Remember back in the day? They
also got sponsored by Gilbert Arenas, too. He was
Remember whenever, like, you could, like, get points for, like, it's like battle, what is it called again? The old, like, MLG stuff. Like, you could go on the website and, like, do tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was like battle points or something like that. It was like it was.
You
very
could get
cliche.
it from like buying like Dr. Peppers. Like
yeah.
you could like.
Oh yeah, and you would you could get a guitar.
I don't remember that part, but remember when you could get a guitar? No, but anyways, Alice. Wait, no, it's you. It's you, Brent.
Is
Sorry.
it me? Okay. So the Batman movie has started filming. That's really all there is to this article.
Sweet,
but. They filmed scene 17 of the Batman, which was the first day of filming. So it's going down. It's happening.
I'm excited, dude. I think, what's his name? Robert Pattinson is going to be an amazing Batman.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good.
If you've watched anything he's done since Twilight, like, he's an amazing actor and, like, takes it serious.
I mean, even in Twilight, he wasn't bad. He was playing the role he was
just
meant
really
to play,
sparkly.
You know? Like, that's what he was.
That's the thing. I was always Team Edward.
Yeah.
You know, like... The Taylor Lautner, I could tell from day one that dude was just a shark boy bitch.
Shark boy bitch.
You know,
if you're on Team Lautner, you need to get out.
Yeah,
Team Jacob.
Hell
no,
Jacob.
Dude.
No, but anyways. Anyway, so Alessandro Filari at GameSpot says in an announcement from developer Etra Games and we've already done that one. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
let me skip past some of these. Okay, so from Eddie McCooch at GameSpot, the Uncharted movie has been in the works for more than a decade.
Oh, God.
But unfortunately for fans, it's not coming anytime soon. The wait just got even longer, as Sony has confirmed that the film starring Spider-Man actor Tom Holland as Nathan Drake will now be released in theaters on March 5th, 2021, according to Deadline. So previously, the film was expected in theaters in December 2020, but that date was put into question when director Travis Knight left the project in December 2019. Holland plays a young Drake in the Uncharted movie, while Mark Wahlberg is said to have been cast in the role of Victor Sully Sullivan. It was recently reported that Venom and Zombieland director Ruben Fleischer is being eyed to direct the Uncharted movie, which, okay, we talked about this last week,
yeah.
But it's not that he's being eyed. They were just like, yeah, we'd love it if he would do it. I mean, it's on the table. And, like they just kind of set it out there. They didn't even actually contact this dude. And they're saying 20. So last week we didn't have
talking about it last week. Like, there's no way they're going to get it out. They're like, they
it's been
haven't changed
2020
the release date, but it's like, no, that's not happening.
It's not even going to happen on May in 20 or in March.
It's not happening.
No,
dude.
that movie's not coming out. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just not. It's just like the Halo thing.
You know how many directors they've been through on that crap?
Yeah,
like,
7.
My goodness gracious.
An insane amount. Like,
They've
cursed.
It's not cursed. It's just stupid. No one's gonna make this movie. The guy who walked in the room and was like, "Guys, I have an idea." That was whenever this went wrong. They should have fired him immediately.
Right at the idea phase.
Yeah.
Okay. Some elements of Apex Legends Season 4 leaked early, giving fans a glimpse of what was to come before developer Respawn was ready to talk about it. The free-to-play Battle Royale game's executive producer Drew McCoy has now responded, saying on Twitter that it, quote, really sucks when people decide to leak announcements to gain, quote, internet points.
Damn, he's saying your clout ain't worth shit, dude.
The clout chasers out there get bent. Worked on a single project where it was purposeful, or he said, I've never worked on a I'm sorry. Let me back this all the way up.
Okay.
I got tangled. He said, quote, leaks are the absolute worst. I've never worked on a single project where it was purposeful or wanted, he said. We spend insane amounts of time and energy to create cool surprises, and it really sucks when someone wants internet points bad enough to ruin that.
Yeah, so he's saying it's never been purposeful leaks, is what he's saying. He's never worked on a project that purposefully was leaked, because some people say, like, oh, they leaked this on purpose to kind of, build hype and stuff. So that's kind of what he's saying by that.
I mean, he should just do the same thing that Rockstar does with all their games. Just tell a whole bunch of lies about your game and be like, yeah, no, this is going to be in there, this is going to be in there, and then all of a sudden...
Trademark a bunch of random shit that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, and then all of a sudden it's not in the game. You're just over here like the game is still great, but I mean, I would love to see...
You're right, though. Rockstar does that before every big release, I've noticed.
Yeah, like right now. Everyone's like, oh, they're in Houston right now, trying to, get an idea of what the city is set up like and stuff like that. Have you last year we talked about that. Yeah. Anyways, Eddie McCooch at GameSpot says Microsoft has clarified its stance on mods for Halo, the Master Chief Collection on PC, and there are some intriguing details to be learned. I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to tell you. Basically, they said they're super into it and that people might even be able to get paid for their mods and stuff eventually, or sell their own mods and stuff. Cool. So yeah, that's there.
I like that.
What you got?
Okay, so guys, if you are wanting to play Half-Life Alyx and you have a dope-ass computer, but you don't have a VR headset, the Samsung HMD Odyssey Plus, which is pretty good, it's usually like $500, and a lot of people compare it to the Rift S or the original Vive. So, I mean, it's a decent headset. It's $200 off right now, so it's only $300 for a really decent headset. It's got inside-out tracking. You just plug it in and play. So, if you're looking for something to play Half-Life on, this might be a good option. But, for an extra $100, you could grab you a Quest, and you'd be way better off. But, just my opinion.
Sweet. Stephen Petit at GameSpot says there's no shortage of Pokemon-themed merchandise out there, but the newest additions to the Pokemon product ecosystems are some of the coolest I've seen in a long time. The Pokemon Company partnered with skateboard designer Bear Walker to create a line of limited edition skateboards featuring 5 Gen 1 Pokemon. Naturally, one of the designs is Pikachu, and it's joined by Mewtwo, Gengar, Gyarados, and Charizard. Together, the 5 make up Series 1 of the Pokemon Center X Bear Walker collection, which goes on sale at the Pokemon Center February 11th. The Pokemon Company hasn't announced how much the boards will cost, but the Series 1 moniker hints that more Pokemon skateboards could be made in the future. Most skateboards feature graphics on the bottom, with grip tape covering the top, but Bear Walker cuts the wood in a way that eliminates the need for grip tape, allowing him to paint gorgeous art on the top of each board. Walker has created a variety of custom decks inspired by pop culture since launching his business in 2016, including It, Joker, and Breaking Bad. Pokemon is highly recognizable with a massive fan base in the skateboard community, including myself. So for this collection, I wanted to make more than a traditional branded deck. Walker said in the press release, "I'm setting out to make functional works of art featuring Pokemon and iconography that fans love in the custom style my decks are known for." Yeah, they look dope as fuck. Like, I don't even skateboard, but, like, I would get the Gengar one or the Gyarados one.
I was just about to say, Gengar sounds tight to me. I would totally fuck with it.
Yeah.
I went into Vans, like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, if I had these decks whenever I was growing up and shit, like, I would have been way more into skateboarding. And crap,
oh, yeah. I mean, I could never afford that stuff. And, my brother was really good. Like, AJ was, like, super good at skateboard. He still is. Like, you could just give him a skateboard, and he'll just fucking kickflip down some stairs for no reason. But, but he's the only person I know, like, during that time that was, like, buying actual boards and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he would go in and just, like, build a deck and stuff. But, like, I was like, I'm not going to do that because it'd be a waste of my time and money because I can't even fucking pop shove it or anything. Like, you know, I just bought video games.
Yeah, same here. About skateboarding.
Yeah, exactly. Tony Hawk, dude.
Okay. You know how the United States and China were having the disagreement, and they were talking about how they were going to raise a bunch of tariffs, like 25%, and all the video game companies were up in arms.
Yeah, during the trade war with Trump and China.
Yeah, well, apparently they're not doing that anymore. They've smoothed it all over. It's all good.
Which I'm pretty sure I said that this was going to happen. I was like, the reason he's doing this trade war is because he knows they're going to fucking be like, fine, all right, you know what, you know, we probably should be, you know, making this or like paying our part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like Nintendo's been trying to get out of China manufacturing for a while because they knew this shit was coming, you know. So like I think anybody who was afraid of this was just kind of like buying into the hype of the media again, where they're like, "Oh, we're fucked because Trump," you know, like it's just like it's not that bad, guys.
Totally,
like,
but either way, it's a good news. So
it is.
We know that we're not going to have to pay like super outrageous prices for the next gen hardware and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I feel that. So this comes by way of Steve Watts. Over at GameSpot. So the cloud-based Pokemon Home is coming in February, and Nintendo has opened a site that shares more on pricing and other assorted details. Storing your Pokemon monsters from games like Pokemon Sword and Shield in the cloud won't exactly come cheap, though, as a yearly premium subscription costs almost as much as a Nintendo Switch Online subscription. Yes, what? Yeah, exactly. So you're looking at, for the basic subscription, which is free, I believe, is you can't move Pokemon from Pokemon Bank. The number of Pokemon that can be deposited, though, is 30 Pokemon. The number of Pokemon that can be placed in the Wonder Box at once is only 3 Pokemon.
What's a Wonder Box?
I have no idea. Maybe for like Wonder Trades
tight.
or something. I don't know. Number of Pokemon that can be placed in the GTS at once. I don't know what that is.
Global Trading System.
Oh, okay. 1 Pokemon. And Room Trade, you can participate, and Judge Function is unavailable. The 1 month of Pokemon Premium costs $3. 3 months is $5, and 12 months is $16.
Oh, that's not as outrageous.
Yeah, well, because 1 year
when
of...
you said 1 year of... whenever you said Nintendo Switch Online 1 year, I thought you were about to just say like one Nintendo Switch. Like I was like,
no
way they're gonna get me to pay $200 for
the Switch Online is $20 a year.
Yeah, I know. I thought I misheard you at first, and I was thinking like the price of an entire Nintendo Switch for a year of the service. And I'm like, no way, dude, that's terrible.
Yeah, but if you get the paid benefits, moving Pokemon from Pokemon Bank is available. Number of Pokemon that can be deposited is 6,000 versus 30.
Like unlimited. Dude.
Yes,
Fuck that.
6,000 versus 30. Number of Pokemon that can be placed in the Wonder Box at once is 10 versus 3.
Whoa.
Number of Pokemon that can be placed in the GTS at once is 3 versus 1. Room trade, you can participate and host, and judge function is available.
I mean, is it really worth it? Like,
I mean, most of these things you can just do in the game, like
shit.
without any kind of like, you know, like.
Well, you can't pull Pokemon from your past games or like from Pokemon Go and stuff.
Truth.
Okay.
But I mean, you know. I don't know.
Fuck it.
I mean,
I don't know.
Just to go back though on the thing that Brent said, I thought that would be, like they would have fallen faster than Neversoft after Tony Hawk's Proving Ground if they would have done like the price of a Nintendo Switch for a year's of service.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, yeah.
You remember the fall of Neversoft after they like stopped doing really great on the Tony Hawk games?
Yeah, they actually went over to Call of Duty though. All the Neversoft guys work on Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Really?
and they I think they are basically Infinity Ward and like all
And
those
Activision.
and Warhammer and all those guys.
It's crazy. It's crazy that it's like,
Man,
how do you go
take
from,
one of those studios and just have them work on a fucking Tony Hawk game, like fucking
hell yeah.
whichever one, like not Treyarch, but Infinity Ward. They need to have Infinity Ward make a skateboarding game.
I think Warhammer would actually do better at that than Infinity Ward.
You mean
though.
Sledgehammer or
Sledgehammer?
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. I keep calling them Warhammer. For
They
some
need to
reason.
do like Tony Hawk Modern Warfare.
that would be awesome.
Machine guns on skateboards.
Hell yeah, dude. Anyways, what you got, Brent?
Okay, legacy video game tech company Atari has announced plans to build a series of branded hotels across the U.S., including San Francisco, California, and Chicago, Illinois. These hotels, the first launching later this year in Phoenix, Arizona, are said to combine the iconic brand with a one-of-a-kind video game-themed destination, according to a press release. Atari hotels are allegedly leveling up hotel entertainment by featuring augmented and virtual reality experiences for every age throughout each of the planned 8 locations. Some hotels will include state-of-the-art venues and studios for esports events, but Atari didn't specify which ones. Atari also didn't specify when the first hotel will get constructed, only offering the vague later this year window. After the first hotel is built in Phoenix, more will get erected in Austin, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, Las Vegas, Nevada, San Francisco, and San Jose, California, and Seattle, Washington. A producer of the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, Napoleon Smith III, is assisting with hotel design and development. Smith also served as a producer on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot sequel, 2016's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. When creating this brand new hotel concept, we knew that Atari would be the perfect way to give guests the nostalgic and retro meets modern look and feel we were going for, Smith said in a press release. Let's face it, how cool would it be to stay inside an Atari?
I mean, not very great. Did y'all
Yeah.
ever hear the story of the dude who made the game E.T. for the Atari?
No.
Okay, so this was one dude. They put one dude in charge of this entire project, right? He procrastinated so much that at the end of like the deal, like he only had a week left, right? He did a whole bunch of cocaine and crack in order to get through it.
Crack?
Yeah,
What?
no, like he did a whole bunch of like drugs just in order to make that game, and that's why they consider it the worst game ever made for the Atari.
I'm going to have to look into this. That
Yeah, no.
sounds intense. What the hell?
Sounds like a truly 80s story
Yeah.
right there.
Oh no,
It's just like, oh, God, I was supposed to code a game.
yeah, no.
I'm just like, oh, fuck. Get the crack out. Anyways, by way of Steve Watts at GameSpot, the latest wave of games for Xbox Game Pass has some great choices as Microsoft continues to hand out new games to subscribers. Some of the January 2020 games for Xbox One users are available now, with a few more to come at the end of the month. This follows a recent announcement of new Xbox Game Pass PC games joining the service, which we talked about last week. As always, the Xbox One and PC game lineups are accessed with separate subscriptions, or one combined Ultimate subscription. Microsoft's Major Nelson has provided the list of new games for this month, with the console version of the service getting A Plague Tale: Innocence and Indivisible on January 23rd, followed by Sea Salt and Fishing Sim World Pro Tour on January 30th. But both all that's out now.
Dope. I've been really wanting to play A Plague's Tale.
Same.
Innocence. I've heard that's excellent. So.
I mean, the fishing sim sounds pretty cool too, you know.
Yeah, dude. That's sea salt or whatever.
Dude, I was really into hunting sims for a while back in the day, to be honest with you.
You remember whenever they would sell those guns and like those fishing rods that you could use with the games and stuff like
dude.
that? I actually had one of those for the PlayStation 1, I believe, for like bass.
Was it fun?
Pro Bass?
Yeah,
Bass
it never
Pro?
wored, but you know, I had a lot of fun with it though. I thought
That's
it was
why
actually
VR
good.
is so great, because it's like that, but it works. Like,
Yeah, and you're there. Brent, whatever news you got left, you just knock it out.
all right, I'm going to let you know about it. It's been a while since we had a Half-Life game. Basically, what I'm getting at here with this article is that until April 1st, all of the Half-Life games are going to be free. I guess so you can catch up if you're going to play Alex or something. But if you go on Steam right now, you can play Half-Life, Half-Life Opposing Forces, Half-Life Blue Shift, Half-Life Source, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, and Half-Life 2 Episode 2. All for free right now until April 1st. So get on it. That's a whole lot of game, a whole lot of really good classic shit to play.
For sure.
Let's see. The Plague Inc. thing. We talked about that. After being hosted in Mortal Kombat 11 and Gears 5 last year, the Terminator is making another guest appearance, this time in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That's all I'm going to say about that, because fuck Breakpoint. Metro Exodus is getting a second expansion, and it's coming sooner than you might think. Developer 4A Games announced that the new DLC, Sam's Story, will come to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia on February 11th. According to the official site, Sam's Story is a sandbox survival expansion following Sam as he journeys from Vladivostok to his home in the United States. Sam hopes to find his family, and that hope was rekindled when the Spartans discovered that Moscow wasn't the only city left alive. But the trip will be treacherous, hence the survival aspect. A teaser shows a gun that has fallen into the water with the ominous tagline, "The journey ends." So we talked about the Game Pass stuff. Blitzchung did an interview recently, and he talked about how he has no regrets and how he doesn't give a fuck, and how basically he still loves China even though it's a little messed up right now, just like he still loves Blizzard even though they're a little corrupt right now. Let's see.
Just a little.
Netflix has announced has announced an anime version of The Witcher in movie form. It's going to be called Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. I guess the Witcher TV show was so successful, they're like, fuck it, let's keep on it. Probably a good thing. Ninja Theory, the people behind Senua's Sacrifice, have announced a new project called Project Mara. It's basically like a horror film or a horror game that's going to kind of focus on the mental thing like they did with Senua's Sacrifice, which I think will be a little more interesting than like an action kind of game based on that. It looks creepy, looks fun. Definitely check it out. Wasteland Remastered is coming to PC and Xbox One next month. The 1987 original is getting a visual overhaul while retaining much of the original game's aesthetic. You'll be able to check it out on February 25th, 2020. Let's see. 9th Annual New York Video Game Awards were held this week in Manhattan. The Outer Worlds was the night's big winner. So good to see the Outer Worlds finally won something.
Yeah, for sure.
SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated has set a release date. The date wasn't announced by publisher THQ Nordic, but was revealed by a Nintendo infographic about their 2020 lineup. This date presumably applies to all versions of the game, as it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The date makes a lot of sense, and it's also when the next SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge on the Run, is due to release. The film features CGI animation, so the game and the movie will look very similar. The original Battle for Bikini Bottom, released on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube in 2003, Rehydrated is a remake, and while the game did not receive stellar reviews, it became a cult classic and is popular among the speedrunning communities. The remake will feature new multiplayer modes as well as content cut from the original game. It also has received a complete visual overhaul.
Sweet. I'm ready to battle for Bikini Bottom.
Gotta get that SpongeBob stuff.
All right, so that's it for the video game news this week. We're going to jump into this week's releases, where I'm going to read off a shit ton of games. Actually, I'm going to let Brent and Chad kind of pass this back and forth for a second. Brent, here, you started off. Just read that off of there. I got to go get something.
All right. Jamel's got to go to the store real quick, buy some groceries. So we're going to be talking about Milo's Quest. And this is coming out this week on January the 29th for $4.99. It's coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Vita. The young puppeteer Milo is enjoying his time in the park and sees a delicious bone to chew on. This bone is cursed and sets free the evil king, Old Skull. Now it's up to Milo to go on an adventure to stop the curse. Choose from 3 difficulty levels for your adventure. Is that like really a feature that we have to... You can even change up the kind of experience you want by only focusing on puzzles or combat. Pick up items and useful tools on your quest to take on the ghosts and solve block puzzles to stop the evil king, Old Skull.
Okay.
Well, that sounds like a
Chad,
very...
you want to read one of these?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Tell us all about it. Start with that one right there.
What is it? Coffee Talk? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Coffee Talk with Chad.
I like it.
As a barista in a late-night coffee shop, Coffee Talk offers players friendly conversation, late-night warm drinks to the colorful and fantastical inhabitants of alternate Seattle, including levels, aliens, and orcs. Oh, wow.
I like that.
The game features visual aesthetics inspired by 90s anime, classic pixel art, adventure games, and images often associated with lo-fi, chill, hop music. The visual novel storylines are determined based on drinks they are served, not through the dialogue selections. Coffee Talk is a place to be for those who want to chat, relax, and relate no matter who they are or where they come from over delicious, expertly crafted hot drinks.
I'm kind of confused, honestly. What is this about?
It sounds just like a clusterfuck of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a dating simulator. Okay, so Jamel's back from the store. We're going to jump into Music Racer, coming to Xbox One, Switch, and PS4 on January 29th for $8.81. Music Racer is a dynamic rhythm game. Rush along futuristic neon tracks while you gather beats and catch the rhythm. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, you get the point. And then we got Code Shifter coming to Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC on January 30th for $14.99. In the action platformer Code Shifter, you play the role of Stella, a game developer at the Awesome Rainbow Corp, who is tasked with squashing the remaining bugs on the eve of the company's biggest game release. As she scrambles to fix the game, mysterious errors in the program suddenly appear, and time is running out to finish the game in time. To deal with the situation, Stella whips up a debug program, Code Shifter, that allows her digital avatar, Sarah, to eradicate the issues from within. If only it was that easy. And then we got It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains, coming to PS4 on January 30th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but aliens are on their way in. Brains are on their way out. It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains is a top-down arcade-style shooter with addicting gameplay elements, 4-player local co-op mode, and tons of aliens to send into oblivion. And then we got Patapon 2, which is like a PS3 game, I thought. Coming to PS4 on January 30th for $14.99. And Patapon 2, a follow-up to the original that received critical acclaim. Players are tasked with leading the colorful Patapons, a brave and noble tribe, now in an unfamiliar land, through a series of epic battles against the opposing army and gigantic monsters.
I think the original was actually a PSP game.
Yeah,
I
right?
could be wrong.
Or Vita or something.
Yeah, it was like...
It was handheld for sure. And then we got Estelia coming to PC on January 30th for $9.99 per month. Estelia Online is an MMORPG striving to bring the genre back to its roots. Set in a vibrant fantasy world, Estelians are heroes blessed by the stars to call upon magical allies known as Estelles. Players collect dozens of these magical Estelles companion fighters, take them into battle and open world content, competitive team battlegrounds, massive persistent 3-faction warfare, and tons of group and solo dungeons across the game world. God. And then we got Speaking Simulator coming to Switch and PC on January 30th for $20.
What?
Yeah. Speaking Simulator is an awkwardly hilarious physics game where an android struggles to appear human by flopping its lips and tongue around. Create a custom humanoid robot specifically designed to live alongside and subsequently dominate mankind. To accomplish this, the android has been fitted with the latest in robotic mouth technology. Fool those gullible humans by talking to them in everyday scenarios, including job interviews, physical exams, and romantic conversation. Mouse movements control the bot's lips while the tongue is manipulated with the keyboard. Forming the correct mouth shapes while flopping the tongue into the right positions produces something vaguely akin to human speech. But fair warning, speaking can be as difficult as it is gross. Miss too many cues and conversational partners become suspicious, especially as the robot's eyes and ears have a tendency to pop out due to emotional stress.
That sounds really good. That
Yeah,
sounds like
like
Octodad kind of like.
That sounds like a Rockstar side quest type of deal that they would put in a GTA game. Just like, fuck it, let's put it in there.
For sure, definitely. Through the Darkest of Times is coming to Mac and PC on January 30th. I couldn't find a price for this game, but the years between January 1933 and May 1945 were the darkest period in history for the people of Germany, of Europe, maybe for all mankind. With the rise of Adolf Hitler and his National Socialist Party, a regime of fear and terror gained power in Germany. Quickly, they started to harass, imprison, and even murder anyone who stood against them or minorities that did not fit into their disturbed view of the world. While there were millions cheering for the Nazis, there were also a few people who felt the need to resist this monstrosity. Can you imagine how dangerous, how frightening this thought must have been? Facing a whole nation on your own, a government that formed the laws as it saw fit, controlled by no one, bound by no moral compass? Judges, prosecutors, police, all under the rule of the party. This is the mood of Through the Darkest of Times, a historical resistance strategy game taking place in Berlin during the Third Reich.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds intense.
Wolfenstein, the strategy game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like all of that sounded tight till it was a strategy game.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, can you imagine the fear? And all this shit. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a top-down strategy game. And then we got Skellboy coming to Switch on January 30th for $20. Sometimes, when there's nobody up to the task, old heroes have to rise from the grave to save the day. Crush your enemies and make good use of their guts. Literally, as you can augment Skippy with your foe's body parts and weapons. Help Skippy, the cubic skeleton, to fight off Squarmans, endless forces of undead and vicious foes in this rectangular action-packed cardboard adventure.
Sounds like a fake-ass Skeletak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, don't be fucking with Skeletak. And then we got Not For Broadcast coming to PC on January 30th. Couldn't find a price, but Not For Broadcast is the one and only dystopian on-air censorship simulator. Control the truth. Okay.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. And then we got Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3, coming to Xbox One on January 30th for $59.99. The only official AMA Supercross Championship video game is back in Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3. Choose your sponsor or join one of the official teams of the 2019 championship and become a teammate.
Monster Energy. Choose your sponsor.
Choose your only sponsor. Become a teammate of the official riders. In Monster Energy Supercross 3, you can live the great co-op experience, riding with your friends in the legendary Supercross test area in California. Train, race, or roam free on the biggest area ever. Create the best online competitions, controlling and managing multiplayer races, choosing the starting positions, assign penalties, decide the race settings, modify the final race result, and choose the cameras to focus on you.
Cool.
That would be great if somebody who was like all raged out on Monster just read that entire freaking thing like, Like,
Bookbound Brigade is coming to Switch, PS4, and PC on January 30th for $19.99. Bookbound Brigade is a side-scrolling action platformer starring legendary characters from history and literature. I'm not going to read all that. Eclipse is coming, Edge of Light is coming to Switch on January 30th for $14.99. In Eclipse Edge of Light, immerse yourself in a fascinating and memorable new world. Can you rise to the challenge and solve the haunting riddle of this mysterious place? Crash landed on a sentient planet. You awake to discover a dreamscape world filled with alien wonder and the remains of a betrayed civilization. Then we got Terraforming Earth coming to PC on January 30th. Couldn't find a price. And
yes, you terraform Earth?
Actually, in Terraforming Earth, you control 3 clunky robots stuck on a desolate Earth. Help them work together to overcome endless procedurally generated obstacles in this roguelike puzzle platformer. Yeah, and then we got Ash of Gods Redemption coming to PS4, Switch, Xbox One on January 31st for $29.99. Ash of Gods is a turn-based RPG featuring constantly evolving storytelling with risks that truly affect gameplay, along with an extensive online player versus player mode. And then we got Hypercharge Unboxed coming to Switch on January 31st for $19.99. Fight for your plastic little lives. Embark on an epic mission with up to 3 of your friends. Your task, Soldier, is to prevent the Hypercore from being destroyed. If it's destroyed, you can kiss your human friends goodbye. They'll forget about us. All of us. Every toy, comic book, cartoon, it'll be like we never existed. Don't let that happen, Soldier. We're depending on you. Recruit a special team of 3 friends. Work together and keep that Hypercore operational. Work together and win for the future of toys everywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a shooter, but you're playing as toys.
Okay, like Army Men. Or
yeah, like the toy soldier deal or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's just like that. And then we got Ark of Alchemist coming to Switch and PS4 on January 31st for $59.99. Enter the desert in search of the key to save humanity. The great power. Quinn Bravesford, of the sake of her kingdom, or for the sake of her kingdom, leads her soldiers into battle against a swath of enemy nations. One year, the king declared that he would send a large-scale investigation team to the Desert of Beginnings. And so Quinn was selected to captain this mission. Quinn gazes at the ancient alchemic device, the Lunagear, with her hand. According to the legends of yore, once the Lunagear is equipped with the 4 orbs, it will unlock the great power that will save humanity. Okay, all right. And then we got Not Tonight, Take Back Control Edition, coming to Switch on January 31st for $24.99. Person of European Heritage number 112, welcome to Relocation Block B, your new home. Your designated role is bouncer. Work hard, stay out of trouble, and we might let you stay in the UK. In an alternative Britain where Brexit talks have collapsed, an extreme far-right government has taken power. Citizens of European heritage have been rounded up and exiled. Forced out of your previous life, you find yourself in the midst of a booming gig economy, fighting to scrape by and return to the city you call home. Okay.
So you're a bouncer?
I guess.
That could be cool.
Yeah. And then we got Hockey Manager 2020 coming to PC on January 31st. Couldn't find a price. I'm not going to read all that.
What's with all these sports management games? Like, is that like the fantasy now to like manage the sports team? You know,
They actually had like those on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, and all that other crap. But they were never really that successful, and I don't know why they're still trying to make these games.
There's got to be somebody buying them.
I know a guy that went to school to be a sports team manager.
Oh, that's cool.
Like that was like his. Is
he doing it?
I don't know. I just remember him going for that. And then we got Clan Inn coming to Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC on January 31st. Couldn't find a price. In the action-packed arcade-style ninja beat-em-up Clan Inn, fight alone or with your friends as you master the art of battle and bring peace back to the land. And then we got Sky Rogue coming to Xbox One, January 31st for $19.99. There's a lot of fucking games, guys. Sky Rogue is a Fushi roguelite action flight simulator. Blow things up over land, sea, and air on an infinite number of procedurally generated islands. Choose one of a diverse set of arrows and kit it out with a dizzying array of weaponry. And then we got Hyperdot coming to Xbox One, PC, January 31st for $19.99. Hyperdot is a strikingly minimal action arcade dodge 'em up. What the fuck is a dodge 'em up? Evade enemies and test your skills in over 100 trials in the campaign mode. Outlast your friends in multiplayer battles or build custom challenges with the level editor. There are 100 plus levels and challenges in the single-player campaign and local co-op play with an elegant drop-in, drop-out system to get you and your friends in-game fast. And then we got AO Tennis 2 coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 on January 31st for $39.99.
Ayo.
Basically. In AO Tennis 2, the second game in the official Australia Open Series, tennis fans can take themselves from the outside courts to the center stage glory in the all-new narrative-driven career mode.
It's just rated AO. They're just like all running around naked. Like
They should stop making tennis games because they don't make them realistic. They don't have the grunts and like the
yeah, that's what they need.
You just hear that. And then we got Kofi Quest Kofi Quest Alpha Mod coming to PC on January 31st for $16.99. Kofi Quest Alpha Mod is a not-so-serious adventure that brings together mechanics from action RPG and RTS games. You control Kofi, a weak, lazy, and unlucky video game character that will be followed by a group of interesting and pathetic characters aiding him to live a great adventure. And then we got Vampire's Fall Origins coming to PC on January 31st. Orgies. Couldn't find a price. For countless years, the villagers of Vampire have enjoyed a life of peace and happiness. But now, rumors are spreading about a wielder of dark magic, a witch master. You just put two words together. Like witch and a master. Okay, fearing the rumors to be true, the village musters a militia to prepare for the worst. You are a recruit enrolling to defend the village. Okay. And then we got Dragon Fang, Drawn's Mystery Dungeon, Drawn's Mystery Dungeon, coming to PC on February 3rd. Couldn't find a price. But Dragon Fang is a story-rich, tactical, rogue-like RPG that tells the story of a young Dragonian in a world where dragons are slowly becoming extinct. I'm not going to read all that. And then we got Metal Unit coming to PC on February 3rd. Couldn't find a price. Metal Unit is a sprawling side-scrolling platformer and with roguelike action features. Play as Joanna, a soldier on a mission to capture her treasonous sister, wear the M-Unit 11 suit, and battle against monsters and aliens while uncovering the truth about humanity. And then we got the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics coming to Xbox One, Switch, PS4, PC, and Mac on January 4th for $19.99. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance comes to life as a thrilling tactical strategy game. In Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics, fans can experience the fantasy world of Thrall by playing through and going beyond the events of the series. Players will even encounter never-before-seen playable characters, stories, and environments. Over the course of 80 unique turn-based campaign battles taking place across the world of Thrall, players will recruit new allies and customize their forces by assigning them jobs and outfitting them with new equipment. That is too much. Too many fucking games.
That's why it always blows my mind on weeks when there's like
no
nothing.
Games.
Yeah, it's like what is even happening right now?
It's because they're saving it all for one freaking week.
Yeah,
just because they want Jamal to talk for like over 30 minutes on this podcast. So like, we got to get this shit. We got to get him this week.
Dude, it sucks, man. It makes my throat hurt. And then like you just got to keep reading. I just try to speed read it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's it for this week's releases. We're gonna jump on over to currently playing, where we're going to let you guys know what we've been playing over the week. You can let us know in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast, or you can just let us know in the comments on YouTube or wherever the fuck you're at. So what are we playing, guys? Who wants to go first?
Man, I can go.
All right, Brett, you go.
As you know, I got my Oculus Quest, so I've been just kind of in the VR headspace lately. But I played Espire 1 VR Operative, which is fucking sick. It's basically like Metal Gear Solid in VR, but like you sneak around this big facility and you like shoot people with tranquilizers and drag them into the shadows and like. But the best part about the whole game is you can basically like climb on anything. So, like, you can go up to poles and stuff and, like, grab it and, like, climb up it and, like, pull yourself up over, like, corners and, like, shoot people and then, like, throw their body off the ledge or whatever. It's so fucking tight. You can sneak up behind people and you can, like, point your gun at them and be like, freeze! And they'll, like, put their hands up and shit,
Do you have to say freeze?
If you want them to put their hands up.
It's like the GTA shit online or whatever. You yell, freeze! And they're like...
Yeah.
But give me the money. And you don't even have to say that. You can just be like this, shit, fuck, and they'll just start putting the money in the bag.
I'm pretty sure if it just hears a noise, it'll be. But like, I know that like when you log on, it'll be like press A or say enter command or something. And if you say the word command, it like knows. It'll like hear you say other stuff and won't do it. But if you say that, I don't know. It's a really cool game. It's definitely not a game for people who don't have their VR legs. Like, if you get motion sick easy, like, it'll get you motion sick quick. But it's so fucking tight. It's one of the coolest VR games I've played. And it looks really good for the Quest. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the games, like, you know, most games that are on Quest and PC, obviously they're going to take a noticeable, you know, dip in, like, just like textures and stuff in the game, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But like everything looks really crisp and like 3D and like pretty looking, you know what I mean? Despite the kind of like muddy like N64 on the wall, you know, it's like it looks like a real wall, it just like with a bad texture on it. It's really trippy and hard to explain, but it's awesome. It's a really fun game. Then I started playing Doctor Who VR, which just came out on Quest recently. It's been out on other consoles. It needs a lot of work, to be honest with you. The graphics are pretty bad. There are times where if you just walk into the wrong part of the room, the whole screen will go black for no reason. Like, there's lots of like glitches that are like game breaking to the point where you have to like restart the whole game to like, you know, redo that part of the game. Like, and sometimes you won't even know it's a glitch. Like, the game, you'll just like, what am I supposed to do right now? And then like when you reload the game up, it'll like be some kind of cutscene that just didn't go off or something. So you'll be walking around for like 30 minutes like trying to figure out what to do, and really you've already done it. The game fucked up, you know?
That's stupid.
So, you know, I've only like 3 chapters into the 5-chapter thing on it, and I'm probably going to wait for a patch before I play the rest of it. I will say that it's weirdly scary. Like, there's some parts of it that are, like, really frightening for some reason. But then also, like, some parts of it that look really bad and some parts that look really good. I just feel like it's got a lot of work that needs to be done to it. And then I played a game called... Sorry, I played a lot of games. Bear with me, guys. I played a game called The Under Presents, where, you know, last week I told you all about that virtual reality game that was so cool. This is made by the same people, and it's like really weird. I haven't finished it yet either, but like you move through the world by like grabbing the air in front of you and like pulling it to you, and like the whole world in front of you like warps and like comes towards you, and then like you pull yourself to that point. Like, it's hard to even explain it, but it's like really trippy, and like there's all kinds of weird funny shit going on. You have this like mask, and there's like other people online that you like run into. The game doesn't even really like explain that it's an online game, but you like start running into people online, and they're doing weird shit with their mask, and like they'd show you, and like you follow them to like things. It's really interesting and strange. It's hard to explain, but it's really good. Then I played Apex Construct a little bit, which is kind of cool. It's like a bow and arrow game where you like go through and shoot robots, and like there's like this mysterious voice guy, and he's like leading you. I don't know. It's weird. I haven't played enough of it to get a real opinion, but so far it seems okay. And then I've been playing this game called King Spray Graffiti. And this is basically just puts you in like in front of one of like 10 walls, you know, in like a different location, and you get like all the different kinds of paints you could think of, and you just spray paint the wall, and you like make pieces of art. And it sounds really stupid, but it's so fucking cool and like realistic, like the way the paint like hits the wall and stuff. I made a couple of really cool artworks that I think, you know, I'll post up on the group or something at some point. But yeah, I've just been playing all that pretty much.
Nice. I like that. So much VR.
Yeah, a lot of VR.
What about you, Chad?
Oh man, as I said at the beginning, like I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, but a game that really surprised me that I started playing again was Battlefront 2.
The original one, or like
Star Wars Battlefront 2, the one for the new consoles. They actually say that this is the comeback game of the year.
I believe it.
It was a 1 star, and now it is at a 4.5 star in the reviews because of all the stuff that they fixed on it. I played that for a little bit last night, and my God, have they done a lot to it. But it's fantastic. They have so many maps now and different game types. Another game that I've been playing a lot of is is NBA 2K20. And the only reason why I play sports games is because it's like a time killer for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But my friend, he made a, and this is actually the dude I'm going to be doing the podcast with again, David. He made a team on there, like, with my picture, and it's called I think the Mad Chads or the Bad Chads.
Yes, dude.
And
The Mad Chads.
And he even goes like, hey, can I make a team for you and like use your name? And I'm like, sure, why not? He took a picture off of my fucking Facebook and plastered it onto NBA 2K20, and I was like,
awesome.
I was like, okay, yeah, no, I dig this. Yeah, no, so like I don't know how many downloads it had. He needs to tell me, but yeah, no, I might become the next meme here in like the next month or so. You never know.
Dude, the Mad Chads.
The Mad Chads.
I want to download it. Like, I need to get that game just so I can have the Mad Chads.
I'll show you all the picture too, but nah, Modern Warfare has been taking a lot of my time because, it's Modern Warfare and Call of Duty was my thing whenever I was younger. So, I mean, I guess I'm still young, but as I said, I've been playing it for like a month and I'm already in 90. So,
ooh, I like that.
It's like, and all my friends, like, they don't understand how I got so good so quick.
How do you think it stacks up to the previous Call of Duty games?
It's basically Modern Warfare, but in, like, now. So, like, instead of using, like, they still use the same people, like Russia and all that other stuff, but it's just more... more fit for, like,
it's just prettier.
It's a lot prettier, and the story was actually a lot better. Like, the story aspect to it was actually really good.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just still pissed off that they didn't do another co-op, like story mode, like they did in World at War, I think is what it was called.
World at War had it, I think.
But no, other than that, though, it's really solid game, and it reminds me a lot of the older Call of Duty games, and so that's why I like it.
Cool.
Nice. So I've been playing, or I just finished The Last of Us for the first time ever.
What'd you think?
It was good. It was good. The ending wasn't what I expected. I thought somebody had ruined it for me, but I guess not. But, like, whenever I saw I gotta mention, so, like, how everybody, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything. There's, like, a scene, we'll just call it the giraffe scene.
Yeah.
But apparently that's, like, everybody always hypes up this moment as, like, the most beautiful part in the game. And so, like, I get to this part, and, like, so Ellie drops down the ladder for me to climb up. She's like, oh, no, she's like, oh, my gosh. And he's like, Ellie, what's going on? And so, like, she drops down the ladder, and the ladder hits me, and I just start floating off into space, so
It ruined the epicness.
Oh, okay. So I keep floating, and I float through the ceiling, and then I keep floating until I hit, like, the sky, and then I die, and then it respawns. So, like, right whenever I'm supposed to have this dramatic moment, like, it just gets completely fucked by, like, a glitch. I, like, couldn't do anything.
That is so funny.
I can, like, see the giraffes and stuff, like, as I'm just, like, flying into the sky.
That's one of the most dramatic moments in the game, for sure.
You see, I wish that would have been recorded. Just put the Jurassic Park theme song behind it,
Son of a bitch, he did
it. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have been recording that. But I played that, and then I actually downloaded the Jackbox Party Pack. Because it was on Game Pass, and my little sister, just had her birthday, so we were all hanging out at my sister's house, and, like, we were having some family time, and I was like, hey guys, instead of a board game, I was like, let's check out this Jackbox Party Pack, and it was tight as fuck, because you just use your phones as controllers, so, like, we had like 7 people playing, and
y'all were all playing at the same time?
Yeah, we were all playing, and you do everything from your phone, and, like, it's on the screen. Was
it fun?
It was really fun. We played, like, Fibbage, which, like,
Fibbage.
Yeah, it's tight. It'll say, like, in 1977, blah 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 blah. This happened, and, like, it'll have a blank, and everybody fills in, like, a lie, like,
and then it gives you the real thing, like, it's pretty cool.
It'll put all
try to make it convincing.
Yeah, and it puts up everybody's lie on the screen, and then, like, 2 other fake lies that it makes up on its own, and then the real answer, and everybody has to, like, guess from their phone which one they think is the truth. And if somebody picks your lie, then, like, you get extra points, and
fun.
It's
that
tight.
Sounds like a good time.
That used to be, like, a huge thing on YouTube. That game was like like people like Vanoss Gaming and all of them would post
Yeah,
videos on it.
Oh, cool.
The reason I downloaded it is because I saw someone on Mixer streaming it, and I was like, that looks really interesting, because like you can just play with anybody, like as long as they can go on to jackbox.tv or whatever and just type in the code for like your game. Anybody can play from wherever they're at, you know, so like you could stream it and have somebody in like a different state playing like on the stream with you from their phone. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, so that's all I've been playing, just because I was trying to finish up The Last of Us. I spent a lot of time just sitting on my ass playing that. But yeah, so if you guys want to let us know what you've been currently playing, you know, let us know in the group or in the comments. We're going to jump on over to topic of the show. Topic of the show this week is video game rumors that turned out to be false. Video game rumors, or you know, like urban legends or anything like that. And we're just going to do 3 each. Otherwise, this could go on for days. So who wants to start first?
I'll go last, because I actually did this before we decided we were going to do 3, so I have like a million of them. That way,
yeah. So just pick 3 that you want to do.
That way, if you guys accidentally do one, then I've got backups.
Yeah.
So
Well, actually, that's perfect, because like I only had 3. I thought we were going to do 5, but that's fine.
and we'll let you start it out, Chad.
Oh, you came underprepared, Chad.
I did. The other 2 were on the top of my head that I remember as a
okay.
kid. So I was like,
Yeah.
So one of the rumors that I wanted to really talk about was whenever you were a kid and you played Pokemon, you know all those rumors about how if you complete the Pokedex or you do this certain thing, you can get Mew, you know, like non-special events.
That's actually one of mine.
All that other stuff. And, you know, at the end of it all, whenever you become an adult and you actually see somebody do it on YouTube, you get pissed off.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
But I still remember they were like this. Oh no! Mew is over here. You know, like at the SSN, there's this glitch where you can surf in the water and all this other crap,
which was fake though.
Yeah, no, it was fake.
It was always, to me, I always heard he's under a van.
He's under a truck.
Yeah, under a truck.
That was the SSN. Like you would float through the water. There would be this like side pocket deal over here with a van on it, and apparently he was underneath that. The other thing was that, hey, if you complete the Pokedex, they give you Mew at the end, but really all they do is they give you this big certificate that says, you know...
Little certificate.
Little certificate.
You could actually print it with the Game Boy printer, though.
You know, that says, you know, like, congratulations, you completed the Pokedex. Oh, yeah.
I think you could. Yeah, so, I'll read off the description of this whole thing you're talking about. So, the Mew Under the Truck legend is an urban legend revolving around the 1996 role-playing games Pokemon Red and Blue. Near the SSN ship in Vermilion City, there's a secret ledge that is home to a single pickup truck of unknown origin. The only way to access this ledge is to have a Pokemon use the move Surf, which allows you to cross bodies of water and surf around the ship. Unfortunately, under normal circumstances, the ship, and by extension access to the water, leaves forever before players would obtain Surf. Clever players have found ways to get around this, either by trading in a Pokemon from another game that already possesses Surf, or by intentionally losing a battle on the ship after obtaining the move, sending them back to town without triggering the departure of the ship. Although, and possibly because Nintendo has yet to explain the purpose of the truck, players began spreading rumors that either a rare item or the rare Pokemon known as Mew could be found underneath the truck. So that was fake. The truck is real, but the Mew is fake.
Yeah,
no.
But that was, dude, like that. Actually, the episode art is just a picture of the truck with, like, you know, a red chilling there. Like,
what's funny is there's actually like 2 real glitches where you can use to exploit and get Mew, but none of them are like what we're told as kids. Like, it's all just total bullshit. Like,
it's really convoluted. Like that. Like, so I think I remember part of it. It's like you have to go to Cerulean City, right? You have to fly there. And then you go to this one patch of grass. You do not fight this trainer until this time that you want to get Mew. Okay? Whenever you go up to him, as soon as the icon comes up and is like, you know, ready to battle, you have to press start, fly to I believe it's
a
like
different place.
Yeah, fly to a different place, and then you have to do the same thing with another trainer, and then do it again, fly to another place. And then you go through a patch of grass, and then you get Mew.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
pretty crazy what you actually have to do.
But yeah,
I guess right. You said you're going last, or do you want to go? Okay.
Or was that count as both of you guys's?
I guess because that was one of my 3. So
all right, let's see. Okay, who could forget the old Tomb Raider, Lara Croft naked code.
Oh, God.
Okay? We all heard about it. You
Yes.
know what I mean? But nobody ever really found it because it didn't really exist. But, you know,
We all wanted to see
schoolyard
those ice
rumors.
cream cones.
We were all trying to see them ice cream cone titties. You know
those
what I mean?
triangle square like tits.
I mean, is this one that only I heard? Because
No.
I know this was a popular one.
It was popular.
Actually,
I know that like on PC they found a way to actually do that, but like
I
on,
feel like it was a mod though, right?
yeah, it was like
wasn't
some type of it was like a texture mapping or something. But on like console there was no way to actually do that. But I remember as a kid like people being like, oh yeah, you can see your tits, bro. And it's just like it's just two pyramids, you know, like I imagine they're just like it's not even possible. That's the point. It was false. You can't do that. But anyways, so I guess
Back to
do you
Chad?
want to back to Chad. Okay.
All right, so these two were actually consoles, okay? That basically they said were going to be announced and all this other stuff, but then it just never happened.
Oh yeah.
So one
I
of
like
them supposed to be at E3 all the way back in 2009. Okay, people predicted this, an Xbox handheld.
Oh,
Ooh,
I remember
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo portable division has been extremely profitable for almost 25 years, and virtually all its competitors have attempted to take a piece of that. Sony, with the PSP. That rumors of the X-Boy from Microsoft came in at 2009 E3 saying that they were going to jump into the market. Obviously, it was a lie, and Microsoft came out and even said after E3, like, yeah, we would never do shit like that because we would lose.
I remember seeing fake like concept art and shit about this.
It looked
too,
like the Duke controller with like a screen in the middle.
And what's even funnier too is that whenever they came out and said, yeah, no, we would never do that shit because we would fail at it, the Zune at the same time was failing because they were trying to compete against Apple.
Yeah.
So that's why basically everything just went downhill.
The Zune.
Yeah, dude.
Who the hell got a Zune?
I remember like dreaming about having a handheld Halo, dude.
Oh
Like,
man, I think handheld Xbox would have taken off, to be honest with you. But here we are.
maybe look at the Vita. Yeah, it didn't
True.
do too hot. And then we got Herobrine in Minecraft. This is a more recent one, but Shubhankar Parijat at Gaming Bolt wrote this. But Minecraft is a game of infinity, limited only by the player's imaginations, and players' imaginations can often run wild. Take Herobrine, apparently an entity that shows up in single-player games, shaving leaves off of trees and creating random constructions and leaving players notes telling them that they are living in a fantasy world to escape the torture that is being inflicted on them in the real world, and that they need to face the truth and wake up, which is slightly meta, a fair bit creepy, and for once, we are glad this rumor is fake. This creepy entity sadly does not exist in Minecraft in any form. No reference to it exists in the code, and while players will often try to mess with you by creating random constructions or leafless trees or other such references to Herobrine, unfortunately, that's just them referencing the popular urban legend. But so, yeah, not too long ago, this was a big deal. Like,
Pretty creepy. Dude.
it is creepy. It was a creepypasta somebody created, and it just got really popular. Like everyone started believing it was real. That there was this Herobrine that would just appear like in your single player game, like while you just randomly find like pyramids under the water, and you'd find like constructed stuff, and then suddenly like it would be like, oh yeah. You're actually like in a coma type situation. Like you need to wake up. This is all fake. It's pretty cool.
God,
like
scary.
Peter Panning in freaking Minecraft, like the whole Peter Pan effect or whatever. Like the kids think that they're actually in a like magical world, but really they're dead.
Wait, what?
Yeah. When did this happen?
Y'all don't know. That's basically what Peter Pan is. Like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're calling it Peter Pan.
Yeah, no.
Wait, so the kids in Peter Pan are dead?
They're like it's basically them going up to heaven. I mean,
Oh my god!
like that's what
That's
Peter
like
Pan
a dark
does.
theory,
I didn't
though. That's not
realize
real.
Peter Pan
No.
was so dark.
Okay. We'll call it a theory.
That's a
but
fan theory.
No. You know that it's real.
I
Peter
just
Pan.
thought Peter Pan just never wanted to grow up.
That's why Michael Jackson wanted to be Peter Pan.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Because he was dead. No, I'm just kidding. All right, what you got, Brent?
Okay, so another classic one here. that Luigi is a playable character in Mario 64.
Oh, yeah.
If you collect all 2,041 coins.
See, I didn't get it from this. So whenever I was a kid, you remember that that little area where there's like ghosts, but it's like outside in like a little like courtyard where there's like a little pond, like with a statue. Mm-hmm. The statue says L is real or whatever, and like everybody believed that meant Luigi is real, like in the game.
Yeah.
But apparently that was actually just some kind of like you know how they put in like placeholder characters like on stuff. It was just like a placeholder character, but you could actually see the L is real in a Zelda game too. I think it was an Ocarina of Time somewhere.
Huh,
but
interesting.
yeah, so that created like a big deal of like people thinking.
I remember running around the star like certain patterns and trying to backflip off of it and stuff.
Me too. Dude, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. That was one of the most mysterious rumors ever.
For sure.
And then they added Luigi in the DS version.
Yeah. That's just in order to really prove that, Nintendo actually listens to the people who make up like all this stuff, like rumors and crap, and then they're like, yeah, no, let's just slap them in the face a little bit and actually put it in the next like remaster version of the game.
Exactly. What you got, Chad? What's your final one here?
All right, another console. Okay, and this actually had a lot of hype around it because people wanted this. The Wii HD. I don't know if you remember whenever the Wii was like the big thing.
Yeah,
and crap, and people were getting it. But there were like 100 million Wii's sold worldwide. But after a few years, the system fell out of popularity with the hardcore crowd, thanks in part to the standard definition graphics. And while Nintendo would need to launch a whole new system to match the graphical horsepower of the PS3 and 360, it seemed plausible that the Nintendo Wii HD would come out. But in 2009 and 2010, of course, they did not come out with that. Instead, they announced kind of like the whole Wii U type deal.
The Wii U is almost a Wii HD if you think about it.
Kind of.
It uses like the same controllers and stuff.
Yeah, but it didn't use the same games. That's what they were getting to. Is that you could play your Wii games on there, but it wasn't like
It was kind of like the PS4 Pro, is what they were imagining. Yeah. It was like, we're gonna have a next step up type Wii, where
that's what they should have done.
But basically, the reason why it didn't come out and why it never really fruition is because they were trying to do too much with it. Yeah. And then finally Nintendo was like, screw this. We're just going to do something completely different. And then at E3 2009 and 2010, they never announced it. And then you got 2011, I think, is whenever the Wii U was announced or something like that.
I remember like walking around telling people about the Nintendo Revolution, as in being like, oh, yeah, you'll be able to put your N64 games in it. You'll be able to do, like play NES games, which is true for Virtual Console. But back then, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I just remember there were rumors about you being able to play every like Nintendo console on the Revolution, back whenever the GameCube was still out. But yeah, that's some crazy shit, dude. Those were good times. Those are good times.
That was whenever E3 was actually relevant to the world still, basically. Like, everybody was like watching and tuning in, like, okay, this is announced. But now, as y'all said in one podcast, E3 has really dropped off, and you can actually see it now from how many people actually view the like the streams and all that other stuff that they do.
Yeah,
it's so sad. I don't want to acknowledge it. I want E3 to be good. I want it to be happy.
Yeah, there's no more G4 coverage,
I just want the old E3 back.
So my last one is unlocking Sonic and Tails in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Oh, for me, it was Goku. That's what I always heard. It was Goku.
Well, there's a bunch of different ones, but this one was specifically mentioned in Electronic Gaming Magazine. It was actually printed in an issue of one of their magazines.
Really?
Quote, Sonic Team's 2 stars make cameos as warriors in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Here's how you get them. Achieve a high score of 20 KOs with any one character in Cruel Melee. Sonic and Tails will then both challenge you, yes, at the same time. Beat them, and they open as playable characters. Finish Classic Mode with either one for a special surprise. End quote.
What the fuck?
Yeah, many people believed it to be real, but it was just an April Fool's joke. That they never came out and was like, oh yeah, that was an April Fool's joke. It just went on for a long time.
That's fucked up. They never told anybody.
No, and so they just kind of let this run wild, and on forums all over the internet. I actually went and searched for some old forums from 2005. I think it might have been before then, or no, it was 2000. There was a forum from back in 2000, and some guy was like, I'm trying to unlock Sonic and Tails, and I can't figure it out. Like, has anybody done it yet? And like all this, and people were like replying like, there's no way, like all this stuff. It was pretty interesting.
That's really funny.
It's crazy how the internet is like this historical like box you can just open up and find stuff.
And that's great too, because if you ever go on to E-Bomb's world, you'll see a whole bunch of memes like back from like 2003, 2002. But no, that was I remember that too. That was a big disappointment.
And then they added Sonic to
just to slap
brawl.
you in the face. Yeah, they were just like
They probably felt like they had to. They were like, all right, we got to do this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll cap it off with probably the most noteworthy, like myth of all of video game times. You know what I mean? All of video gaming in general. In my opinion, anyways. It's the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Bigfoot myth. This is still debated widely today. A lot of people think, hey, he could be out there. But even after Rockstar has come out and said, hey, there's not Bigfoot in the game. It's just a really big old game that does weird things sometimes because it was such an ambitious scale. You know what I mean? But that being said, there's still a lot of believers out there that swear up and down they've seen Bigfoot and don't believe anybody else.
That game was actually larger than GTA 4, and a lot of people don't understand that. That was the biggest GTA game until GTA 5.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, It was gigantic. It was a great game.
Speaking of which, since all right, that's all of ours. But we had some responses on Instagram. I asked people what are some, like video game hoaxes or like things that you fell for back in the day. And Jason Domican, 1991, actually said GTA San Andreas Bigfoot. So you weren't the only one, Jason.
It's the one.
Brent and I actually was probably spent like, I don't even know how many hours just sitting there searching for like these urban legends. Do you remember we were looking for the Loch Ness Monster?
Oh yeah, we
were
went
looking
through
for
all
everything. Leatherface. But anyways.
Yeah.
And then also Trippies.spam, which at first I saw his account and I was like, oh, this is a spam account. But then we were like messaging, so I know he's a real person. He was like that you could see CJ's mom's ghost in GTA San Andreas.
Oh, this was a cool rumor actually, because like you would go into CJ's house and you would hear things. Like you'd hear weird stuff, but you'd never actually see the ghost. You know what I mean? And that was a legit rumor. I spent a lot of time looking for it, especially because there's a lot of like fake pictures online.
Yes, there is.
You know what I mean?
There's actually another rumor too that actually came out to be true, but I mean it wasn't done in the way of like the game actually had it inside. Somebody made the hot coffee mod, but people were passing it around as like this real thing that Rockstar put into the game. So basically, the hot coffee mod was, and this got news coverage too because kids were playing the game.
Well,
and,
hot coffee
was in the game. It just wasn't. It was in the code. Yeah, it wasn't actually
in
that.
Out with the mod.
So yeah, the only way to get to that was to like a modder basically went in and
it was
opened
like
it
buried
up.
in the files. So like.
Yeah, they were like, we never wanted anybody to see this. Like, I guess they had made it, like, somebody was just fucking around and made it, but
so Rockstar did actually write the code for
They
that.
did?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they didn't write the code, but okay.
Yeah,
No,
but
they did.
They just it was like uncovered by data miners and modders and stuff,
Yeah, they basically had to go in and take it out because it was pulled from the shelves. That game was pulled from the shelves.
Yeah, they put an AO rating on it temporarily. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then Super Beaner, or Josh Pantoja, said Super Saiyan Angel, which I have no idea what that is and why that's a rumor.
I'm imagining Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer just going Super Saiyan.
I think. So, I don't know what that is, man. But
I guess it could be one of those things from like Xenoverse or something like that, where because in a lot of the Dragon Ball Z games and like Xenoverse and all that other stuff, they're always like, yeah, no, we put this in there, this in there, this in there, and then people made the rumors, especially after like fan-made Super Saiyans, like they went into Super Saiyan 7, 8, 9, and stuff like that, like fan-made ones. People were like, oh yeah, they added in a new fucking Super Saiyan to this one Dragon Ball Z game.
That's probably what this is. It's like a fake level of Super Saiyan, yeah.
Or maybe it's just a level of Super Saiyan that like they didn't add in the game, but people were saying they did. You
No,
know,
that- that's
you could
base-
unlock it.
That's basically what. But if you've never seen the fan art to some of these Super Saiyans, though, like you should definitely check it out. It's really cool.
I like that.
That sounds cool.
Super Saiyan.
Oh, dude, one honorable mention before we get off of this topic. There is in the first Diablo game, there was a huge rumor that like there's this cow, and everybody's like, if you click on the cow like 5,000 times, it'll take you to a secret cow level, and blah 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 blah, where a bunch of cows attack you. And the rumor
Cow
gained so
simulator.
much steam that in Diablo 2, Blizzard actually put a secret cow level in the game.
Hell yeah.
So,
I like
little
that.
fun fact there.
How about another honorable mention too? The Lavender Town curse.
Oh,
yeah.
bro,
About the
that's
ghost.
a good one.
Yeah.
Bang, bang,
Yeah, so
bang,
like the
bang,
whole
bang, bang.
the whole thing of like basically Gary's Eradicate is dead after that battle on the SSN and stuff. That was proven to be false, because
Yeah.
Nintendo Game Freak came out and basically said, like, no, there is no dying in the world of Pokemon, blah blah blah. But you know that
there's
But
ghost
there is
Pokemon.
There's
dying,
ghost
because the
Pokemon.
whole point of Lavender Town is that all these people are dealing with the loss of their Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they
And
tried to play
Ash
it off as
died.
if it's like, not a big deal. But then, everybody was like, yeah, no, there's dying because there's ghost Pokemon. But,
Not only that, Ash died. Ash died in the movie, and
That
he
ain't
died
no
in an
crap.
episode where they go to Lavender Town, where like
died
he
in the
finds
movie?
Gengar. Yeah, he died. What are you talking about? It's like the most like gut wrenching part of Pokemon.
Oh,
Like,
but he comes back to life.
yeah, with like brother, my brother. Yeah,
But I don't. Okay, if you come back to life, it doesn't count.
Wait,
dude.
wasn't that in the movie, actually?
that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, you're talking about
Speaking
the
of the movie,
okay.
they're doing a remade version.
Yeah,
of
no, they're doing like a whole
Mewtwo
CGI.
I heard it was
CGI.
pretty bad.
Really?
It's coming to Netflix, but yeah, I heard it was pretty. Would they say like the emotions like are not there in their face and stuff because it's like so weirdly CG that they're just like all the time. But anyways,
Still want to watch.
yeah. Well, that's it for the topic of the show this week. If we missed some of your favorite rumors in video gaming, let us know. Drop it in the comments. Hit us up on Instagram, wherever. It doesn't matter. We want to read it, and we will mention it in the show. So we're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, we got some questions here on Instagram as well as the Facebook questions. So while Brent is picking a champion, we'll just sit here and, sing you a little song. It goes, brother, my brother, tell me what are we fighting for? Ash, why have you died?
Well, sorry guys, we got a lot of questions today.
Yeah, we actually do, which is great. Oh, first off, we need to shout out happy birthday to Sarah Brock.
Oh yeah, happy B-Day, Sarah.
Well, you see, instead of singing My Brother, we should have sang Happy Birthday to her.
Okay, it goes, happy birthday to you.
Bum 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 bum.
Happy birthday to you.
Bum 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 bum.
Happy birthday, dear Sarah.
Bum 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 bum.
Happy birthday to you. That was beautiful.
There we go. That's what happens when you have a birthday on GameSpeak. We're gonna sing us out. Anybody who has a birthday, just let us know. We're gonna sing you a birthday song.
All right.
What you got, Brent? Brent's over here just like he's investigating. We have a lot.
All right. I'm gonna
of
give
questions.
it to 9 Paranormal 9.
Yeah, 9 Paranormal 9. It says, what game excites you for next gen? Do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah.
The game that excites me for next generation is Half-Life Alyx, without question. I'm super excited to see some real AAA VR.
Is that next gen, though? That's not next gen.
How much more next gen does it get?
Because VR is here. That's not, I mean, like, it's not next gen. It's
Yeah,
not
but
a new console.
It's going to be released a little bit later. Is it going to be like when the new consoles come out?
No, it'll be before.
Okay,
Why is
but
it
I
next
mean,
gen?
it's like the next generation of VR. Like, I mean,
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give. So it's,
Can we not
it's Brent.
concede
Yeah.
that it's like next level? You know what I mean? Like,
I think all VR is next level already, though. You know
but
what I'm
this
saying?
is like next level for VR standards, which I feel like, you know what I mean? I mean, okay, let's be real. The Valve Index has been out for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
but there hasn't really been an app that fully like takes it by the balls and like, shows us what it can fucking do.
That's what I've been waiting for, is for VR to take me by the balls.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but aside from that, I'm also really excited about Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm also really excited about Resident Evil 3, weirdly enough, because...
That's not next gen, bro.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And I guess Cyberpunk isn't either, so never mind.
No, Cyberpunk is next gen.
Maybe.
I don't think they're going to release it until next gen, because they delayed it, but...
True, till September, but it's still going to be out on this generation. They even said that it's going to be like their crowning achievement of this generation.
That's some bullshit. They need to wait. They need...
they'll port it.
I'm sure it'll come out on both.
It'll port, yeah.
See, okay, if we're actually thinking about real next-gen stuff, like... I don't know.
Halo
because
Infinite
what's
for me.
out? What's coming?
Yeah, I was going to say Halo too.
I guess so. Halo, because just by default.
Well, not only by default. There's more games coming. Godfall. You got
Godfall, and then Senua's. That's it.
Yeah, that really is it.
Another Sekiro's coming out too for the next gen as well.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah. That's not confirmed though, is it?
I believe it is.
Oh, dude. Okay.
If that's the case, then that would be tight.
If that's the case, that's what I'm fucking excited about. Fuck Dark Souls. Fuck all that shit. Sekiro is the shit, dude. That is my game. I will so fucking play that game.
Didn't it win game? No.
Yeah, one game of the year.
Yeah, one game of the year. Okay. Yeah.
Good, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna keep with Halo Infinite just because I really am excited. They said they're basically like rebooting it, and I think KOTOR, like if KOTOR is a real game, it's going to be next gen for sure, because there's no way they're going to announce it and release it before the end of this year. Like it's just not going to happen. That's definitely a next gen game I'm stoked for, if it's real. Anyways, thanks 9Paranormal9 for being our champion this week. We're going to jump on over to listener questions. I guess let me just knock out these Instagram ones. We got alphapack.a, a new voice here. What is your favorite game? Conker's Bad Fur Day or KOTOR. Actually, probably KOTOR. The original KOTOR is probably my favorite game of all time.
I think my favorite game ever is probably KOTOR, but I think my favorite game in the last like my favorite decade. Modern game is probably the 2018 God of War. It was so fucking good, dude.
Mine and forever will be Persona. So all the Persona series.
Persona 5, man. I haven't got a chance to play any of the other ones, but Persona 5 is one of the best games I've ever played.
Persona 5 Royal is coming out too here pretty soon.
I'm excited. I've never just bought a game twice, but I'm about to buy that.
Well, you see, they make
dude.
justice with it because they put a lot more in the game. Like Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden there was 30 more hours added into it.
Well, and this is already out in Japan, and people have already said it adds 30 hours of gameplay. It adds a whole new semester to your school year or something.
Like it needs more hours.
It does.
It does, damn it.
It does. But see, that's the thing.
Give us more Persona.
Everybody's intimidated by the Persona playtime. It's such a long game. But it's really, it's not that bad. It sounds obnoxious, but it's really, the pacing is, perfect. And, it keeps you entertained. And it's not, a cumbersome amount of shit. I don't know. You want it to be that long. If it was shorter, you would be like, this game is too short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like any JRPG, though. I mean, because J Cocoon, Final Fantasy, and all those, they're extremely long games, once you get into it. And if you don't have that same thing with yours, people are going to be like, I'm not going to play it just because, it doesn't take me forever to fucking finish this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our answers are KOTOR / God of War, and Persona. Then we got one last question on Instagram from Super Beaner, or Josh Pantoja. He says, have you guys ever played Hollow Knight? If not, I recommend it for Couch Bro Op. Actually, I've been playing Hollow Knight and kind of on and off for the past year. I haven't beat it, but I just jumped back on last week whenever I was messing around with our Twitch channel, and dude, I'm back in. I think I'm going to probably try and beat it here pretty soon. But yeah, we should definitely jump on a Couch Bro Up for that.
Hell yeah. Hollow Knight was the first game I ever got for my Switch, but I never actually got very far into it. I just played a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and then it stopped.
It definitely doesn't hold your hand. It's one of those games where you have to figure everything out on your own, but it's worth it once you get a little bit further in. It's the closest thing to a Metroid game that I've played in a long time. Anyways, Brent, take us to the Facebook questions. What do we got?
All right, we got Justin Walker here. He says, how lit is Pokemon about to be with the new expansions? Also, are exploits and genners ruining the grind in this new Pokemon gen? Well, I think the exploits and Jenners thing, that's been going on for a minute, and it's especially in my opinion, the exploits aren't nearly as bad as Sun and Moon and shit. They were finding a way to just generate perfect fucking shinies without any kind of effort or grind at all. And just filling up their whole box with just infinite shinies. It was way less special. I don't know. So I feel like there are plenty of exploits and stuff, but I don't think it's too bad in this one yet. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think, like you said, it's been that way. Whenever I jump into a Pokemon game, I don't even think about battling other people because I know that once I try to, they're gonna have a perfect stat, amazing team that I'll just never be able to compete because I don't go in and breed Pokemon and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
What's funny is that wouldn't even be here if we didn't have speedrunners for Pokemon Yellow.
Oh yeah,
because
sure.
they were the first people to ever really see holy crap, these Pokemon have different stats, and the way that you actually train them means that their stats are going to be perfect.
Yeah, EVs and IVs.
Yeah, so basically what happened is a speedrunner was if you just get a Nidoran and you evolve it into a Nidoking, but you have this certain stat line, then this is perfect and this is what you need.
And it'll be perfect for the speed run, I guess.
Oh, yeah. No, because they've literally used that Pokemon through the entire thing as, for every single gym leader, every single battle, all that stuff.
It's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
But
to answer part one of your question, Justin, it's going to be super lit.
Extremely lit. Yeah. Brent's not getting his Pokemon back. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm just kidding. Anyways.
We got Zach Parton here. He says, all things considered, what's the best racing game of all time, and why is it Diddy Kong Racing?
Oh, man. Diddy Kong Racing is great, but I think the best racer of all time, in my personal opinion, is Burnout. Burnout 2 specifically. A lot of people like Burnout Paradise. I wasn't that into it. I just like Burnout 2 a lot for some reason.
Yeah, just Burnout in general. I really like that they focus on the car crashes in Burnout,
Yeah.
Because racing is racing, But the just cool destruction in Burnout was so unique and different. And to this day, there's not a game that just really works to simulate car crashes to their most destructive look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
BeamNG is working on that, but if you've never heard of that game, they're actually making the physics so realistic. Whenever you crash into a wall, it actually simulates the car.
Oh, I want
just
that.
It's on PC. It's actually free to play right now because it's in the beta stage, but it's really cool, and you can see the different physics that a car goes through and crashes.
I love that.
Tight.
I want hyper realistic crash physics.
Do you remember back in the Burnout was so popular that Hot Wheels started making cars that whenever they would hit a wall they would bend and break kind of create a crash, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I bought so many of those because I was so into Burnout. I didn't even give a fuck about Hot Wheels. I just wanted to crash little cars.
Burnout and Midnight Club were
Midnight Club, dude.
My two favorite racing games, just because Midnight Club had the whole street scene around it and all that other crap.
It was Rockstar too. Rockstar did.
You know what was a good one that, it's probably not good anymore just compared to Forza and stuff, but Project Gotham Racing, the original Xbox.
I hated that game, dude.
That was my shit.
It was so hard to drive in that game.
I loved it.
That and Test Drive. Dude, I love Test Drive.
Test Drive.
Anyways, what you got?
Okay, so we got Sarah Brock here. Happy birthday again, Sarah. She says, Don't Nod Entertainment has a new game coming out and will be an Xbox exclusive this year called Tell Me Why. This is going to be a very controversial game considering it is the first game to have an authentic trans character within the game. Props to Don't Nod to always reaching beyond the limits. Your thoughts on whether this game will sink or swim after Life is Strange 2 struggled to stay afloat? First of all, I think it'll probably do better than Life is Strange just because of the controversy attached to it.
Definitely.
I think if we've learned anything this past year, that controversy sells. And second of all, I think a big part of Life is Strange 2 not doing so well was their just wonky fucking release schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It was just terrible. And we didn't even know halfway, we didn't know until chapter 2 or 3 when the actual last 3 chapters were going to get released. You know what I mean? So it's the first chapter, you buy into this game thinking it's going to be the last Life is Strange games where you get your chapters monthly. You know what I mean? and then suddenly you find out you're gonna have to wait like 3 months between chapters and shit.
So you forget everything.
You forget everything, and then you have this shitty fucking like explanation. Life is Strange 2 is actually a pretty good game. It just needs to be played all at once. It doesn't need to be spread out over the course of a year.
It's like a TV show that you binge watch instead of, like continuously watch every single week.
Exactly.
You need that whole entire game. That's why I hated the whole episodic bullcrap that they came out with. The only thing that I actually liked were some of the Telltale games and Life is Strange. Like, I really liked the first one.
I can deal with Telltale because generally they put their stuff out in a timely manner, or they did.
Well, they did until like the end.
Until the end.
But definitely, as long as they have their time slots in check, then I think it'll do better than Life is Strange 2. Hopefully.
I didn't mind Hitman coming out in an episode.
Oh no, Hitman was really great.
Because the thing about Hitman is it didn't really matter. Like it wasn't like you forget the story and like, oh fuck, Hitman's not fun anymore. You know what I mean?
It's just about the gameplay.
And it kind of gives you an excuse to go play through the same level over and over again, which is one of the best parts about Hitman.
It gave you an excuse, too, to make impossible shit for your friends to do. Like, you challenged them to do the most impossible crap.
I made some really fucking hard ones, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, like my friends would put me through the fucking grinder with that goddamn shit. With that shit.
Oh, man. That's a good one. It's a good one, Sarah. Okay, we got Chad Mclain here. Oh my gosh.
In the flesh.
Chad says, so Orlando Bloom or Johnny Depp?
Ooh.
Well, I got to hear it from the horse's mouth. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so, the only reason why I actually did that was because I was like, I usually am one of the only people who's like on there every single week putting out questions.
Yeah.
But I was, okay, if I'm going to be asked a question too, fucking Johnny Depp, dude. Like hands down. Hands fucking down.
Orlando Bloom is a foxy dude, but he's just not...
He's not Johnny Depp.
I mean, if
he
you
didn't have the personality of Johnny Depp.
If you put elf ears on him, then maybe. Because Legolas. But
but hey, you put some elf ears on Johnny Depp, we might have a whole nother fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit.
There's no competition there. It's going to be Johnny.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement.
JD.
Unanimous decision.
I actually dated a girl one time that was actually a cousin to Johnny Depp.
No fucking way.
Had pictures with him and all that other shit at her birthday.
Should have put a ring on that.
Used her to get to Johnny.
Old JD. Okay, we got Kyle McAvoy here. He says, what regular NES or SNES game would you want remade for the next generation console or VR?
Remade?
NES or SNES.
Wow. Probably like I want a remake of the original Yoshi's Island. Super Mario World 2.
That'd be cool.
But not remade, just like I want something in the same vein, but like good.
Yoshi's Woolly World isn't good enough for you, dog?
This just sucks, bro. Like, they got to stop making that stuff. Like, just give us Yoshi. Give us a real Yoshi game. I don't get why it's so ridiculously hard for them to just make a normal-ass fucking Yoshi game. This last one, they're like, oh, yeah, it's like cardboard, and all this bullshit. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, just give me a game that's good. The game was so boring. It was absolutely boring when I played it. I played the demo, and I couldn't even get through the demo. It was so boring. No offense to Yoshi or whatever, but
Yoshi is offended. I'll speak for Yoshi. I'll tell you right now.
Sorry, Yoshi.
Let me tell you right now what I would want, man. Because if we're thinking VR, okay, imagine Nintendo's dropping their VR, okay? It's going to be like, and they're like, okay, we got to reboot one of our old IPs. Fucking Metroid Prime VR, dude.
That would be tight.
That would be so tight. You got your big old fucking cannon in VR attached to your arm, and you're like rolling into a ball, rolling around and shit. That would be fucking sick.
It's got the whole little like thing where you can where you got to be like looking at stuff with your what is it called? I always forget. Like how you're like investigating shit in Prime.
The like scanner thing.
Yeah, a little scanner. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah. Anyways,
really
what about you, Chad?
I mean, if we're gonna go like it's not necessarily like a SNES or Nintendo, but it's a Nintendo 64 game that I would like remade and actually remaster a lot. Paper Mario.
Ooh,
I I know that they made Paper Mario 2, but that was just not good enough, and I want them to remaster and remake Paper Mario into something better.
You know, kind of like Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG for NES or SNES.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be kind of a similar thing if they remade that.
But no, I would just like a true remake of that, and like make the colors more vibrant and beautiful, and just I love that game so much. It was one of my childhood games. So,
dude, that would be sick. I would definitely play that.
For sure.
Okay, so we got Allison Heron here, my sister.
What?
She says, your favorite video game is about to become a live-action movie, but there's a catch. It's now owned by Disney, and there will be at least 3 musical numbers. On a scale of 1 to 10, how horrible will this movie be?
Well, KOTOR, this is literally happening, probably. Except besides the musical part, but it just depends. Yeah,
Revan is coming.
Darth Revan is coming. No, this is like, I would have to say, if Kathleen Kennedy is going to be messing with it, then it's probably going to be like a 4 out of 10. And just going to be real with you. It's going to be bad. The Last Jedi was trash, as we all agreed, on that one episode.
I thought you liked it.
No, The Last Jedi.
Oh, The Last Jedi. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the newest one.
No, I was throwing shade because Brent likes The Last Jedi.
I did like The Last Jedi, yeah.
I think it was absolute trash.
Dang.
But, and it ruined the trilogy because then they had to come back with the Rise of Skywalker and try and end the whole series, but none of it made any sense. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But if they were to take my second favorite, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and turn that into a musical...
They actually did with the Great Almighty Pooh.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, you already got one song.
They could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be actually really good as a musical, I think. It would be better as a musical. That's one of the few things I think would be better as a musical.
For sure.
Mine would be very disturbing, though. I mean, especially if you play the Persona games and stuff like that. Like in Persona 5, apart initially, like whenever he finds his persona, he tears his like face off. So, I mean, if you see that on stage in a musical form, that might actually be pretty dope.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, that sounds like it could be cool.
I would actually give Persona 5
the musical would be sick, dude.
Yeah, no, I think I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Actually,
can you imagine like the gym teacher, doing all these dances, singing about like fucking students and shit?
Like some of them already dance for their moves, anyways. Like whenever you say Persona, and then fucking it like does this spinner twirl.
Oh yeah, dude!
So.
You could have like music like incorporated from like the actual game
exactly.
into the musical.
Yeah, no,
music is a big part of it. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Just a bunch of jazz.
So no, fucking
that would be tight.
Yeah, no. Persona 5 the musical, make that a thing.
So I'm with Jamel on the KOTOR thing, but I guess God of War would be my second one. So God of War the musical.
You mean Hercules?
Right, pretty much. But I'm thinking Norse mythology God of War. So it'd be like Norse Hercules, which would be kind of cool.
I like that.
Hercules.
How would they do the sex scene in isn't that in God of War?
In the new one? I don't think so.
No, not in the new one. It was God of War 3, I believe.
All the old ones, he like had sex scenes, but it was like, I don't know.
But that's old God of War.
Yeah. He left that pod behind.
Yeah, he's got a boy now.
Come here,
for obvious reasons. Okay. We got Cody Goolsby here. He says, what were your favorite games on the TI-83 calculator?
When you spell boobs on it. That's my favorite game.
I used to have this deer hunting game where there like little deer would run across the screen and you like get your little crosshairs in the game. And
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was my favorite for sure.
I think it also had that Centipede game on there too.
Oh,
if I'm not
Centipede,
mistaken. Yeah.
dude, Centipede went hard in any format, like.
But. In a Centipede.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the hunting game, too, because I remember playing that.
Cool. All right, we got Jeffrey Lewis here. He says, what has been the most complicated job you have had? Any dream jobs?
A complicated job? Damn. I don't know. Like whenever you say complicated, I think like complex and like really difficult. Like, I don't really know if I've ever had a complex job, but I've had like a job where there's a lot of work to do, and that would be like being a janitor. Whenever I worked at the movies, that shit sucked. But it was cool because it got me into podcasts. That's whenever I started listening to like IGN's Game Scoop and stuff like that, and really got me into this stuff. But dream job would be this, but as a job. Yeah,
I think part of my last job, I was like required to take apart this outboard motor every day and like put it back together for our boats. And I did it all with YouTube. Like I didn't know how to fucking do it. I just figured it all out on YouTube and like learned how to like disassemble and reassemble this motor. And I do it every day. But like the first like week or two of like learning how to do it was super complicated. So I'd say that's probably the most complicated thing.
That sounds
I've ever
complex.
had to do for a job, but after a while, it got to be not. You just kind of get in the rhythm and just forget. Like it's easy after a little bit. Dream jobs, I want to do some kind of like thing where I just test VR games in a room all day. I don't know if that's a real job, but I want that.
Could be if we grow this enough. Speaking of which, go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/GameSpeakPodcast, and drop us some love over there. So
drop
this
us
can
some
become
money.
our job. Yeah, one day.
That's it.
So my most complex job actually was at the pawn shop where I was at for like 4 years. I mean, it wasn't really complicated or anything like that. It's just that dealing with management was like the most terrible thing ever because like one day they would be like, "Oh my God, you're doing such a great job," and then the next day, "Chad, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Why isn't this done? Blah 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 blah."
Bad management can turn even the best job into something that's just complicated and shitty.
My dream job is really just I want to play video games for a living. Like I want to do the things that most people can't do, and I was close to that whenever I was a teenager. I'm hoping to get back to it now.
Become
as an adult.
Ninja 2.
Want to get traded to Mixer for $20 million. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, we'll take 100. Anyways, that's it for today's show, guys. Chad, thanks for coming here and being on the show with us. And be sure to check out Chad on our streaming, on our Mixer channel, which is GameSpeak Podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the details with them on the days that I'm gonna do it in the hours, so that we have an actual schedule going on.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be set times and everything, and it'll be consistent, so you'll know when to check it out. Anyways, remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search, just go to youtube.com/createforsanity. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle @JoffreyJamel and Brent at Brent has one. That's the number one. And where can they find you, Chad?
Just find me on Facebook, Chad Mclain. The Instagram, I'm on the Chad the Singer, I believe is what my name is, and then Twitter, Chad Mclain, Chadley 1994 Gaming. So.
There you go. And check us out on the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. And until next time, listeners, later.